This is the GEARit GI-150 Canyon series. It's a $150 guitar starter kit that I've seen making its rounds on the internet recently. It sparked my curiosity, and this is a brand I don't have experience with yet, so I figured I'd pick it up and check it out. Like similar guitar kits in this price point, it comes with everything you'd expect. The guitar, of course, a fairly nice gig bag actually, a little mini amp, a clip-on tuner, a cleaning cloth, some picks, a spare set of strings, a cable, and the Allen wrenches you need to make any adjustments on the guitar. Everything is pretty cheap quality in terms of accessories, aside from the gig bag, which is slightly nicer than normal. Cheap guitars these days really are just getting better and better, and this is no exception. The fit and finish on this particular guitar is actually pretty good. The headstock, despite what it looks like in some Amazon photos, is a pretty normal size and a pretty unoffensive shape, in my opinion at least. The 6 inline tuners are acceptable, working just fine. They're certainly not the most high quality feeling, but they all worked without any issue for me, and I certainly got the guitar in tune out of the box. The string trees are bent metal. They provide enough tension for the strings, but definitely contribute to tuning issues. The neck is a pretty standard and modern C shape, making it pretty comfortable and familiar. It has a satin feel to it, and I can't tell if it has either a light finish or none at all. One particular point that's impressive on this guitar is the fret ends. They're rolled ball ends. They're not quite as extreme as you might see on some other manufacturers like GEARit, but they're definitely rolled. This is a really awesome feature to see, especially when you consider cheap guitars or this are pretty prone to fret sprout when the necks dry out. The frets themselves aren't stainless steel, but for the price point that's not super surprising. The fit and finish on the rest of the neck is fine. I didn't find any dead spots or high frets or anything like that. The nut is cut perfectly fine. It is a plastic nut, and it has an issue I've seen on other cheaper guitars with plastic nuts where the high E string isn't quite as resonant as it could be. I think the plastic is just soft enough and the high E is just thin enough that it actually starts to dig into the plastic, and it gives you this sort of buzzy phenomenon. The pickups to me sound perfectly fine. While they're not particularly high quality, they don't have any noise issues, and the bridge pickup isn't super ice picky or anything like that. The electronics all worked out of the box. There's no solder issues or anything that I had to touch up. While the components that go into it are most likely cheaper, it's all put together pretty well. This guitar is pretty cool in that it has a push-pull feature for the bridge pickup. My only gripe with this would be that the knob that activates this is a standard Strat knob, meaning it's kind of hard to grip and pull up on. This is definitely something you'd want to look at modifying or changing. This guitar has little touches around it that show me that at least some care is going into assembling and setting these up for the most part. Things like the output jack are put in without too much overhang on the threads. It's not really going to change anything, but it just shows that it's been put together correctly. The bridge on this guitar is perfectly fine, and you can use it as a tremolo, but it's definitely going to give you some tuning stability issues. It does come decked to the body, which is probably for the best. You could do some work and adjustments on this, make it floating, and probably stay in tune a little bit better. The trim arm is a screw-in trim, which is by no means high quality, but the trim is probably a big part of this guitar that you'd want to look into upgrading anyways. The string height was a bit high out of the box, but playable. All the sound samples later were recorded with this guitar pretty much right out of the box and just a tune-up. You'd certainly want to look into setting up this guitar and maybe upgrading some parts. I do have some parts lying around that I will be putting into this guitar to upgrade it and make it a little bit better, so stay tuned for those videos. But all in all, with the guitar itself, for $150, I'd have to say I'm pretty impressed. This would be more than acceptable as a new player, or even something good as a mod project. Or something to tinker with, learn setups, whatever. The little included amp is a nice little bonus. It doesn't have effects or get particularly loud. It's really only useful for bedroom playing or practice, or as a Bluetooth speaker, which is one of the features included in it. The signal you do get through it is nice and clean without any extra noise, even from the cheaper single coil pickups that come on this guitar, and that's a plus. It's USB chargeable, it has an aux jack, and in my experience the battery is more than acceptable. Overall, the fit and finish on the guitar is really pretty good. It's not going to be the most amazing thing you've ever seen. You can see where the 3 pieces of wood are joined together on the body, for example, but it's more than acceptable for the price point. And it's certainly better than other guitars I've seen in the price point before. While no part of this guitar is going to blow you away by any means, I also found nothing glaring or disappointing about it, which is exactly what you're looking for in this price point. Stay tuned for sound samples and like and subscribe for more content like this.